Hello and welcome to Informed Entrepreneur Magazine. My name is Mike Baumstark. I'm a small business owner myself, and I'm doing an interview today for the magazine with Brett Lieberman of Mosquito Terminators. Welcome, Brett.
Thanks, Mike. Nice to be here.
We're going to start out with getting some background on Brett, and then we'll get some insights from him about business, and hopefully it'll be useful to us. So your background is, what part of the country did you come from?
I grew up in the New York area and Boston area and came to the Washington, D.C. region in the early 90s. I used to be a journalist. I covered Washington correspondent for a chain of newspapers, covered a lot of presidential elections, politics, government, until the news industry has changed a lot and there's a lot of downsizing and I was laid off.
Okay.
It led to some other career opportunities where I went into marketing, PR, communications.
Do you consider that forced lifestyle change fortuitous, or do you wish you could get back into that stuff?
No one likes being laid off.
Sure.
But in hindsight, it was a great opportunity, great change. I was getting burnt out. I wasn't really happy with where the news industry's gone as a business.
Yeah.
And I was looking at a number of other opportunities and changes, but it gave me the push I needed.
Yes. A lot of times that negative thing happening in your life, that life-changing negative event, winds up being the birth of something maybe even better. So I think that's
I would definitely agree. I mean, I don't look back.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, so you got into business. Tell me how that came about. You just couldn't stand the idea of working for somebody else. You thought, hey, here's my opportunity to go for it. What was the impetus to get into business for yourself?
Sure. Well, for a number of years, I've been looking at different opportunities. I wanted to be more independent, have more control over my life and finances. I wanted to grow something, develop something, build something. I wasn't always enjoying working for other people where I thought businesses could be managed differently and better. Mm-hmm. People could be treated better. And do better customer service. I was looking at a number of different opportunities.
Okay.
More the idea of doing that rather than a specific industry.
Okay. And so did you look at several things and wind up saying, hey, I like this idea the best? Tell me about that a little bit.
Sure. Now, I was all over the place from retail to wholesale to food industry to health and wellness, medical billing. Kind of stumbled into Mosquito Terminators in this sector. Received an email about a franchise opportunity, not this one, something else, and first laughed. But then I started thinking more about it and talking to people, and I said, in this area, it's actually a huge issue. People are concerned about West Nile virus, Lyme disease, not to mention just being able to go out and enjoy their backyard. So the more I looked at it, I kind of had this BFO, this blinding flash. Thank you.
Yes.
The flash of the obvious that this is a great opportunity, and I looked more into the finances. Interviewed a number of people. My journalism background was helpful.
Yes.
Interviewing a number of people in the business across the country, and I thought relatively lower barrier to entry compared to some of the other opportunities I was looking at, but a lot of upside.
And to fund yourself getting into it is just from self-funded, or do you have investors? Or?
No, self-funding it entirely.
Okay, great. Now, as you began to do this, I assume it was exciting to be launching into this venture, and you've been doing it for a relatively short time, isn't it?
We started it earlier this year, so we're going on about 6 months.
Okay.
So we're still at, very much a startup phase, adjusting a lot of things, still figuring out a lot of logistical things that we need to tweak.
Sure.
And also, the real season for mosquitoes and outdoor pests, really just began about a month or so ago.
Right. So it's a good time to be launching out if you're ready to take the
It's a great time to be launching out, especially in the DC area.
Did the franchise have a book that says, here's how you do everything, if you follow these steps, you'll be successful? Or was it more like, I got to think about this a lot myself?
More the latter.
Really?
There's some guidance, but really it's your own business. So there's certain types of marketing that might work well in one part of the country that don't work in others. The DC market is a lot more competitive. It's a lot more expensive, both for hiring staff as well as just for products and space and logistics. So it is different. We're, obviously a bigger metro area. So it's quite different than somebody who might be in a rural state.
Okay. Now, when you began to prepare to be in business and began to launch your business, give us a couple things that you felt were the biggest obstacles that you faced.
Probably not knowing what it was going to take, and this is I'm learning as we're going. Still just logistics. Mm-hmm. having processes in place and really thinking them out early on would have been more helpful. And we've tweaked some of that as we're going along, as we learn, to improve that situation. But that was an obstacle we're still overcoming. But each day I find we're getting better and better at that.
Okay. And do you feel like you have a couple of points that you see, well, this looks like it's a successful thing, or something that say, well, this seems to be working?
Surprisingly, giving money away is actually helping us grow the business more. Let me explain what I mean by that. We're spending a lot of money doing traditional advertising, marketing. We've got some radio ads up now. We're doing direct mail. We're doing coupon mailers. All of those things that a lot of businesses do.
Okay.
What we started doing, though, is literally connecting with nonprofit organizations in the community, PTAs, Little League, other organizations, and we're literally writing them a check. What we're doing is they're helping to promote us, so there's no marketing cost for me there. We're sponsoring a Little League team as well, but we're anyone who signs up for our service for full season and mentions Fairfax Little League, for example, or the Frost Middle School PTA, we donate $100 to those organizations. So, which
is a good percentage of a regular sale.
A regular sale could be typically $500 to $700, so it could be 20%.
Now that's an unusual thing to do. I don't think a lot of business owners would probably want to go there. I know you're being coached by the editor, Art Radke here. Is that something that he had to sort of say, believe it or not, giving back will make it happen better for you? Or how did that conversation come about?
It was an idea that came from Art, but it's had multiple benefits. The idea was, so if we spend $10,000 on a postcard mailing, whether you sign up one person or 30 people, you still spent that $10,000. You may not have that ROI to justify it.
Yeah.
With this, the marketing is free. If I sign up one person, yes, it costs me $100, but if I sign up nobody, it costs me nothing. So there's really no cost unless somebody signs up.
That's a direct, that kind of marketing is very impressive, because like you can spend $10,000 on a mailing, you might get a 2% response, and maybe, a very small percentage of that be business. But if someone comes to you, people will pay a lot of money for someone who's doing business on the spot. So that's very interesting.
And we've learned and tweaked it as well. The PTA groups, people love that we're giving to the community.
Same sort of thing.
Yeah. So same exact principle. We're writing some big checks to some of them, and I've told them, I'd love to write even bigger checks. So what people that have signed up said, we really loved it that you were giving to this PTA.
Yes.
That you're supporting something in the community. And so it's a way for us to support local good organizations that we believe in. And we've told in a newsletter, we've told customers, if you have an organization you'd like us to support, a nonprofit group, let us know if this, if Mike, if your big concern is the Red Cross or whatever, could be a church, that sort of thing. Whatever it is, if people want to sign up and mention your church, your other organization, we would look at supporting that organization. So it's a way of supporting something that you care about in your community. There's also a write-off benefit there. Yeah. It's low cost, and ultimately you can have this customer long term. So they're going to be, if they're happy with your regular products and your service, you're going to keep them for years. So it's going to generate additional dividends.
Was there I think you mentioned in a previous conversation with you that there was a motivation to help out in the community, which seemed to dovetail nicely with this idea. So you were already motivated to try to help, right?
Sure. Well, we started, Fairfax Little League was a perfect example. We started there just sponsoring a team.
Okay.
My son plays, he umpires. I've been sort of like, the typical fan there. I like baseball, I know a lot, but I don't know enough to coach and never really had the time or patience to do something. So we're helping out in terms of sponsoring a team. But then Art had this idea, and Fairfax Little League is trying to raise $750,000 for field improvements, safety improvements. It's a lot of money for them. So it was a way for me to help out an organization that we've been involved in, and I feel is really good in the community and does a lot of good. And then they took it from there, and they marketed it to over 1,000 families who are right in the geographic area we serve, who are prime audiences for us because families want to enjoy their yard. And then those people are able to purchase something that they might have been purchasing anyway, and support an organization that they care about and their children are involved in.
Now that idea, I think a lot of business owners would hear you say that, say, "Are you nuts? You know, you're giving away so much profit. How could you possibly do that?" Was there some trepidation on your part getting into it, or did you think, you know, what's the downside of it? What was your thought about it initially?
No, there was. Initially, I was like, "Wow, that sounds like a lot of money." And then I thought, well, do we do $50, $25? But it didn't sound really significant to me.
And that's a big impact, the 100.
No, and it doesn't sound. And if it doesn't sound significant to me,
Yeah, right.
I think when you tell a customer, "Oh, we're going to give," you know, we do other programs like we do customer referrals.
Yeah.
If a customer refers somebody else, we'll give them a $25 credit or a gift card. Not a gift card to us, but like a gift card to a grocery store. It's their choice.
Right.
And you know, people like that, but $25 didn't sound huge to me.
Right.
$100. You know, is a bigger chunk.
Yes, it
it's
is.
also a bigger chunk of the more significant piece of the
Business.
purchase price.
Yes.
And it could quickly add up. You know, I've told some of these groups, you know, I'd like to give you thousands of dollars. If I'm giving you thousands of dollars, my business is growing exponentially. We're growing in the community. Our name is out there. It's kind of a win-win situation for everybody.
Sure is. Yeah. No, I really like that concept, which is part of the reason why I think I'll include this chat with you in a book that we're producing. The tentative title of the book is called Business Love, by the way, but it's how businesses can actually directly give back to the community and thereby everyone prospers. So I really like that idea.
The key is, let me just jump in here. The key though isn't just making that connection, but it's continuing to expand it. So the president of one of the PTAs has reached out to other PTA presidents, sharing what we've done and the results that we've had for them. So we're trying to get other groups involved, and other groups are, you know, actively interested in doing that. But it's also the organizations that you work with can't just send it out one time. So business owners need to know that if you are going to do this, or any marketing program really, you don't just reach out to the customer once. You need to do this repeatedly to remind them, and also that way it's at a time when they might need the service.
Yeah. Well, I'm impressed by the amount also, and the fact that you're giving that much. That's impressive. I mean, someone who says, "Hey, you know, 5% of our profits go here," you kind of go, "Well, okay, well that's a cost of doing business for you." But to give a significant amount back to specific entities in the community, I really love that idea.
Well, and also, we're not doing 5% of profits. We're doing a straight dollar amount off the gross.
Yes, that's big.
So, you know, that it really does lower our profits.
Yes.
But, you know, we like, from a tax perspective, we could write it off.
Right.
But that wasn't really the ultimate goal. It was trying to help out an organization, at the same time grow the business.
It must make you feel good to be doing that.
Well, it was great when I was able to present the first check.
That's awesome. Yeah, that would be a neat goal. Well, in closing, would you just speak to the audience directly and these business owners watching and tell them your tip, recommendation, your word to them as they're in business or going in business? What would you say to them?
I would say, I mean, the number one is just what we were just talking about now, looking at unconventional marketing tactics that can serve you, help your business grow, but also do good somehow. It might vary in your business, what your business is, might vary the community, might vary how you're going to help out. But, you know, don't look at it just as a dollar amount. There's a lot of different ways you could do, and we've gotten a lot of excitement from people that we're signing up. And in some cases, 4 or 5, 6 people, the homeowners, signed up all together. And they marketed it, they shared it around their communities. So, I mean, I know it went around neighborhood listservs, so PTA sent it out, this person sent it out, it becomes very viral.
Yes. Well, you know, the Bible teaches that it's more blessed to give than to receive. Somehow that principle, if it's really inside you and you really do that, it seems to bring prosperity to everyone all around. So that's my little addition to your recommendation. We thank you for joining us today for our interview with Brett Lieberman of Mosquito Terminators, and hope you've enjoyed it. And if you want more information about Brett or his business, you can look at the credits afterwards. But we're all about increasing the profitability, sustainability, and the contribution to the community of businesses. Thanks for watching. Good to see you.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks.